How to answer effectively in the mains examination. In answering questions in the civil service main examination, 2 points become at once significant. Nature of the question. Expectations of the examiner. Nature of questions broadly, there are 2 types of questions. Open-ended questions and leading questions. The nature and orientation of these 2 types of questions is different, and hence different strategies are called for. In open-ended questions, a lot of liberty and leverage can be availed of by the candidate, whereas in leading questions the dimension and direction have already been set by the examiner. Open-ended questions. The following examples will clarify the matter concerning open-ended questions. Question: What is the Cyber Dome project? Explain how it can be useful in controlling internet crime in India. Question: Under what circumstances can financial emergency be proclaimed by the President of India? What consequences follow when such a declaration remains in force? In both the above questions, the candidate has an open opportunity to launch into an answer in his/her own way. What matters is listing the set of important issues that need elaboration, besides due coverage of all the issues. Prioritization of important points is the key. Leading questions. These questions set the tone and tenor. They begin with a statement of fact and build a case. It is upon this matter that the question is set. The idea behind such questions is to test the candidate's ability to grasp all the pros and cons of issues. Analytical ability is a quality that civil servants are required to possess. The following examples will clarify the matter concerning leading questions. Question: There is a growing divergence in the relationship between poverty and hunger in India. The shrinking of social expenditure by the government is forcing the poor to spend more on non-food essential items, squeezing their food budget. Elucidate. Question: Indian government has recently strengthened the anti-terrorism laws by amending the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, UAPA, 1967, and the NIA Act. Analyze the changes in the context of prevailing security environment while discussing the scope and reasons for opposing UAPA by human rights organizations. In both these questions, the context has been set by the examiner. By doing so, the examiner has shown his clear understanding and expectation that the candidate is aware of the issue. Thus, the examiner expects a move on and not a repetition of stated facts. The elucidation or the analysis must of necessity has to move forward. The examiner is waiting, wanting and watching to be educated. He needs a dimension, a direction and a determination. He does not need digression or doubt or dilemma. Expectations of the examiner. The examiner expects you to have basic knowledge and therefore, you should not expand on that basic knowledge. It is not a profitable idea, moreover it would eat into the limited word limit at your disposal. It is the application of the knowledge that is needed. It may have many dimensions too and they are needed. Your ability to make a précis is being tested, remember always. Retain the core area, discard the non-essentials. The key answer can be found if you keep addressing yourself. What are the key issues? What is more important among them? How do I prioritize them and how do I conclude? Examiner is searching for a fair, balanced, and an authentic answer in a manner that has clarity, continuity and cohesiveness. Examiner most emphatically and certainly does not expect that his precious question would be repeated by you as you begin the answer. It is a big drain on word limit too. Issues that matter. First, it must be understood that bluff, vagueness, guesswork, and hasty summations not based on facts are not welcome. Secondly, a civil servant is expected to be fair, neutral, and stable. There is no place for bias and eccentricity. Your personal opinions to have no place, at least in public. Thirdly, if answers have to be built around one theme, give it all the prominence. Do not let other issues that are either not relevant or are peripheral. Similarly, if chronology has to be maintained, please do so. Fourthly, if you have 3 strong points in prose and only 2 in cons, stick to that. There is no need to bring an additional third point in cons to balance. Such a point may be irrelevant, leaving your answer in tatters. Fifthly, if you are sure of your figures and they are readily relevant to the context, you may use them. Similarly, a quote may be used if it is relevant or reinforces an argument. Generally, quotes are useful at the commencement or at the conclusion. Finally, never leave your answer open-ended or with vagueness. It is of essence that the answer must have a proper conclusion. It does not matter whether the conclusion is subtle or sure, it must give the impression of finality.